Have you ever wondered if there's something special about you? Something that makes you unique in the eyes of Allah? This might sound incredible, but some believe that certain people have a special connection, a kind of divine protection and guidance that sets them apart. Now, let me tell you why this is huge. Today, we're going to uncover the 5 signs that you might be one of Allah's chosen. Without further ado, let's start with the first sign. Let's talk about something that, if you've experienced it, you'll probably understand what I mean. A kind of inner peace that defies logical explanation. Imagine being in the middle of a storm with problems all around, yet something within you remains calm. This might sound a bit wild, but here's why it works. When Allah chooses you, that deep peace is His way of showing you that you're not alone. It's not that the problems disappear, but rather you find a strength and serenity that seem to come from nowhere. And here's the interesting part. This peace isn't common. It's not something you can easily imitate. If you're one of those people who, even in the worst moments, can find an unexplainable calm within, then you might be closer to Allah than you realize. This happens because in His infinite mercy, He allows you to feel His presence. The Quran describes this peace in a powerful way. Those who believe and whose hearts find peace in the remembrance of Allah. Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah, hearts find peace. Quran 13:28. It's as if, when you draw closer to Him and remember His presence, something within you settles, making you almost immune to the turmoil happening around you. This sense of calm doesn't mean that difficulties disappear or that problems are instantly solved. In fact, Allah's chosen often face intense trials, but they experience something unusual, a serenity that sustains and guides them. This feeling comes from a deep place, not from a quick fix or an easy solution. It's as if Allah places in their hearts a trust that overcomes fear and doubt, a trust that says, no matter what you face, I am here with you. So if you've ever felt this, stay tuned. It might be one of the first signs that Allah has chosen you, but there's more to discover. Let me tell you that this sign is not just curiosity or a desire to learn. It's a genuine thirst to understand the higher purpose of life, to know Allah and His creation on a deeper level. And here's where it gets interesting. This love doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's a gift that Allah places in the hearts of those He has chosen, and then something incredible happens. That person can no longer settle for superficial explanations. They feel they must search, go deeper, and find answers that resonate with the soul. The second part of this sign shows up in commitment. When someone is chosen by Allah, their love for spiritual knowledge becomes an unrelenting pursuit. Maybe you felt this pull at key moments, like when reading the Quran and finding verses that seem to speak directly to you. The Quran says, Allah will raise those who have believed among you and those who were given knowledge by degrees. Quran 50:11. This isn't by chance. It's as if every line you read or every word you reflect on ignites something within you, because true knowledge brings you closer to Allah and guides you toward His purpose. And here's the real difference. It's not just that you want to learn. It's that this knowledge becomes a part of you, something you're eager to put into practice and share. This love for knowledge transforms your life, allowing you to see the world with new eyes, understanding that Allah has a purpose even in the smallest details. But take note, if this love isn't nurtured, it can fade. So if you've ever felt that spark to understand beyond what's visible, take every opportunity to study, to reflect, and to draw closer to His words. Then you'll realize something few truly understand. That real spiritual knowledge doesn't just answer questions. It awakens a peace and clarity that's hard to find elsewhere. because understanding Allah isn't merely an act of knowledge, it's one of love, commitment, and obedience. So if you have this unshakable love for learning about Him, it could be one of the clearest signs that Allah is guiding you toward something special. Have you ever found yourself in a desperate situation where everything seemed to be going wrong, but then suddenly something changes? This isn't just coincidence. Divine protection is one of the clearest signs that Allah is by your side, and when you're one of His chosen, His help arrives in unexpected ways. Let me explain it simply. When Allah has chosen someone, that person receives a protection that goes beyond what's visible. It's not just about avoiding physical dangers, but about guiding your life along a path that keeps you spiritually safe. In the Quran, Allah promises this special help. Allah is sufficient for whoever puts their trust in Him. Quran 65:3. This doesn't mean you won't face tests, but when they come and that something or someone appears on your path to give you the strength you need or the support you need at just the right moment. And let me tell you why this is so significant. In moments of crisis, when others may lose hope, those protected by Allah experience a series of coincidences that defy explanation. Maybe someone shows up to help, a door opens, or an idea comes to you just in time. This happens repeatedly, and it's a sign that Allah has placed His protective hand over you. This help not only guides you physically, but also strengthens you internally. Each time you face a hardship and experience this divine protection, your faith grows stronger, and you realize that your path has a purpose. So if you felt that in your most challenging moments, there's always something holding you up, you may be witnessing a sign that Allah reserves for those He has chosen. His protection may not always be visible, but when it comes, it transforms our lives and deepens our connection with Him. This sign isn't just about being kind or helping occasionally. It goes much deeper. It's a genuine urge to relieve the suffering of others, a need to offer support, even when no one is asking for it. And here's the powerful part. When Allah chooses someone, He grants them a compassionate heart, one that feels the pain and joy of others. This empathy is a connection that goes beyond the surface. It's as if you can see a part of yourself in others, feeling a profound desire to do good. The Quran describes believers as those who care for others, and they give food, in spite of their love for it, to the needy, the orphan, and the captive, saying, "We feed you only for the countenance of Allah. We wish not from you reward or gratitude." Quran 76:8-9. This generosity seeks no recognition or reward. It comes from the heart and is offered unconditionally. So, if you've ever felt the urge to help someone without expecting anything in return, this empathy could be a sign that Allah has chosen you. This might seem confusing to some, as we live in a world where generosity is often transactional. But for the chosen ones, giving becomes an act of connection with Allah. And in seeing the well-being of others, they find peace within themselves. This empathy and generosity aren't just actions. They are reflections of a heart touched by Allah, one that understands the true purpose of serving others. So if you feel that you cannot overlook the suffering of others, if you have to help even when it's difficult or costly, this empathy is a sign that Allah has placed a mission within you. For the generosity of the chosen is like a light in the darkness, a selfless help that in the end strengthens their own faith. And this is how Allah chooses some to be instruments of His mercy in the lives of others. The last sign is one of the most profound, a constant call to reflect and pray. This urge isn't a mandatory routine or just another item on a daily checklist. It's a sincere longing to connect with Allah in every moment, through both ease and difficulty. And here's the beautiful part. When Allah chooses someone, He places in their heart a need to communicate with Him, to seek His guidance and presence. It's not just about fulfilling the obligation of prayer, but about finding in it a refuge and strength that pushes them to move forward. The Quran reminds us, and seek help through patience and prayer. Quran 2:45. For the chosen, this call to prayer is like a lifeline that keeps them anchored in any storm. No matter how complicated or simple the situation, they always feel drawn to turn to Allah, as if their heart knows it will find the peace and clarity it needs there. It's an ongoing dialogue, a relationship built with each supplication and each silent moment spent opening up to receive His guidance. Moreover, this urge to reflect and pray becomes part of their lives in a way that transforms them. Prayer is no longer just a religious act. It becomes the center of their decisions, the comfort in times of pain, and the source of gratitude in moments of joy. Allah inspires His chosen ones to return to Him in every circumstance, and over time, these moments of prayer and reflection build an inner strength that helps them face whatever comes, confident that His will is always guiding their path. So if you've ever felt that, no matter what happens, you need to pray and seek His direction, this could be one of the clearest signs that Allah is calling you into a special relationship. When He chooses someone, that constant call to pray is more than just a habit. It's a manifestation of His closeness, a reminder that faith is the safest refuge, the most lasting peace, and the truest path. Now, after hearing these 5 signs, do you identify with any of them? Have you experienced that unexplainable peace, that need to help others, or that continuous connection through prayer? These moments may be more than just coincidences, but they could be signs that Allah has a special purpose for you. If this video resonated with you and you feel you're on a guided path, I invite you to leave a comment and share your experience. We would love to know how Allah has touched your life. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you won't miss more content like this, where we explore spiritual topics and seek deep answers. Thank you for joining me, and may Allah always guide your path.